What are you doing? Is this like...
Gangbang. Later I send to xmature.com. Say 4 boys get raped by teacher. Confirm become viral already, bro. Okay, okay, so now let's start with last week's one. Okay, never mind, we start with today's one. Then I print for you last week's one, then you can go through together. Okay, so answer what question have you all done, the Meridian one? How many questions you all finished already?
12. 10.
10.
9.
Okay.
What's rethought?
Then for you?
What's rethought?
Restore 10.
No, actually, what's rethought?
Where?
The word rethought.
How do you spell it? Which line is that?
23. 22.
Or before she could stand or cancel us. Like stand up lah. We thought stand up. Same thing. Okay. So now let's look at section A first up. Okay, so before I start section A, do you guys remember what we need to do every time we see a visual text?
Answer the question. No, you read the thing.
Look at the image.
Look at the image all that. Okay, so we always follow this formula called CAP, right? So what is CAP? What does C stand for?
Context.
Context. Then A is for
Audience.
audience and P is
Purpose.
purpose. Okay, so this is very important because this will help you answer the questions later on. Context, audience, and purpose. Okay, only for your section A and your emails also lah, right? So your situation writing, the same thing, give you a visual. You need to find your C, A, and P. So your context. So in this case, what's the context? What's this poster about? What's this poster about? What does it show?
Environment Day.
World Environment Day, right? Correct? Then what do they want you to do for World Environment Day?
Learn more about it.
Learn more about it through the materials and activities available throughout the day, right? Okay, so your context, also your context, you already know what's up. For your context is World Environment Day and they want to raise awareness. Alright? The next thing, audience is very important. So who would you give this to? Would you give this to the monkeys and shit like that?
No.
Wait, will you give the monkeys, man? Who would you give this to?
Like anyone.
Anyone, right? Correct? Anyone who can take action. That's very important. Realize who would you give this poster to. The next thing, purpose. So when I say purpose, it's very specific. After you give to the audience, what action do you want them to take immediately? Do you want them to start saving the earth immediately? No, right? What is the intention of this poster?
Like, educate people.
Educate people. Like you want them to what? Open their webinars, the education materials and activities throughout the day. You want them to take action by learning more. You don't want them to go and like donate like $1 million to charity or something like that. No, so you must always identify the correct purpose because it's very easy to get tricked. Okay, the next thing so now let's go and start answering the questions. So for the first question, look at the text one, tick the most effective title for the image in this article. Which one is it?
First one.
Growing knowledge for a planet, right? Okay, so this is where we need to realize the purpose. If you get a wrong purpose, you just choose like some stupid answer like pure wisdom or something. Okay, let's see the next one. Article states lacks nurture of minds and nature. What does the word nurture suggest?
Grow. I say grow.
Grow, okay, you can. But then does it only mean grow?
And they can.
Grow your what?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay, so you must have your keyword which is grow your knowledge. So that's what nurture means.
I write grow only.
Yeah, grow will not be accepted lah. Okay, so do you understand why it won't be accepted?
No, I write grow and take care of your minds and nature.
No lah, need to increase knowledge regarding your save the earth lah, all the things. Need to grow your knowledge regarding the environment. Okay, that's why nurture and minds are in the same sentence. It's just not nurture alone. Okay, so you need to say you need to nurture refers to people taking initiative gain more knowledge regarding saving the environment. Okay, so this is for nurturing. So if you don't have something along the knowledge and regarding saving the environment, right, you will not be given a mark. Alright, who's that? Okay, I can. So let's go to the next question. Question number 3. Identify the phrase in text 2 which reflects the aim of text 1. nourishing minds. So nourishing minds means what?
Education and change.
Education, change and learning. Okay, so what do you get for the answer?
Seeds of change are sown in the fertile ground of education.
Okay, you can. Okay, so let's look at the next one. Question 4 is tricky. So this is why we need to identify your C, A and P because this will help you later on. Okay, so let's look at question 1. Readers are encouraged to educate themselves. Both, huh? Okay, so that's the action you want them to take. So the second one. The text suggests a call to action. So what is a call to action?
Do something about it.
Right now, right? Immediately, right?
Text 2.
Text 2 only, yeah?
Yes!
Okay, text 1. Text 1 is that a call to action?
No.
No, right? Okay, so the difference between call to action and no call to action, let's talk about it, huh? Because it's not very important because we use it in essay writing also. So let's say, right, I say guys, you should study every day, you should make sure that you don't do your homework, make sure you do your homework now, pay attention in class. Are any of these call to actions? No, right? Why do I say, guys, if you do not study or do not pay attention by class now, you are going to fail, so better write what I'm going to say. Which is call to action? The second one, right? Because it forces you to take action immediately. Yeah? So this call to action is very common, so you must know what it means. There's not any type of action, but take action immediately. It's almost like threatening the person already. Okay? So must have more impact. Lah. So let's look at question number 5. How is the weather described in paragraph 1?
Very windy.
Very windy? Okay, so before all that, right? What type of question is this?
Just the inference.
Is it inference? Is that a keyword suggested or what can you
then,
infer?
then it's just like then just copy and
It's just your literal question, right? So whatever detail they give you, you should just copy and paste it. But then you guys remember what we say about copy and paste? How to make sure that we do not miss out key details? What should it be? It should be either the cause or the outcome. Okay, so what's all the details is here? Today, however, is exceptional radio. Read it down. Her tall figure was betting the gusty winds, right? Okay, what does this show? The winds was just windy or very windy? Very windy. Yeah, so must have the part about very because they say gusty. So this is where you lose meaning when you paraphrase your answer. Okay? Can? Next thing, this one I don't need to write down the answer, right? Yeah, so waste time, I'll write down. Okay, let's look at the next question. Question number 6. What might the sentences blah blah suggest about the usual behavior of the park ranger and the situation on day? Okay, so the keyword over here is suggest. So what does suggest mean? What type of question is that?
paraphrase.
Huh? You're trolling me, right?
Huh?
Suggest, eh?
Inference.
Inference, okay? Paraphrase question will always say use your own words, so there's no use your own words today. So you only say suggest. So whenever you see an inference question, there will always be the word suggest or infer or what can you say about these things. Okay, so when it comes to suggest, right, you always need to find your details first or your evidence. Okay, so what is the evidence for this question? Ordinarily, this would spark curiosity. Means normally, spark curiosity, what does that mean?
Like open. She's really open-minded.
Correct, right? So you let them explore, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to see what the fuck is going on, then she'll let you say what? Okay, go ahead, right? Correct, but then however, right, today was exceptional. So exceptional means what?
The opposite.
Opposite, exceptional means happens only one time. Right, so why is that so? You can just say, usually, the park ranger would entertain or would accept.
Can say accepting of curiosity.
Yeah, I can. Okay, you should accept curiosity. But then, however, today what did she do?
She's more cautious and the environment is more tense.
Exactly, okay?
On that day it was tense.
But the environment was tense.
Yeah. Okay, so this is the exact answer that you should have. So environment was tense is part of your answer because the question explicitly states what? Situation on that day. Yes?
Can you say atmosphere was tense?
Yeah, can, same thing. Okay, so the next thing is, what else must you have? Would accept curiosity. This is because this is usually what will happen. Then the next part, the last part that you must have is, however, today, what was the difference? Must show comparison because it said usually, right? So if you don't show this comparison, you'll not be given your 1 mark. So this 2 is 1 mark for your comparison. And the third one is answer the second part of the question, which is on that day. Okay? So this one you make sure you get 1 mark by 1 mark. Alright, okay, let's look at question number 7. We have the gear. What does this description suggest about how explorers felt in this moment? So this is another inference question. Okay, so whenever it comes to inference questions, we always need to identify evidence first. Always the first step is evidence. And what's the evidence in this case? Right? Fellow explorers jump off their jeeps, right? Then what did they do? Yes, scurried across the road and grabbed their gear. So whenever I say jumped out across the jeep and scurried across the road, right? Scared. Okay, so let's just go the step-by-step process. So step 1 is always identify evidence, right? So now we identify evidence. That was the second step, I would say. I always say what's the second step. Look back at the first page. I write for you right last time. So you must always ask yourself, why did the author use this phrase, right? So the first phrase is what? Scurry, right? So scurry, when would you usually scurry? When you're calm or when you're rushing? Rushing, right? So you must have rushing in your answer. The next thing, right? Jumped out of the jeeps. When will you jump off instead of getting out normally? Scared or excited. So any one of this will be accepted. Okay, so you guys put scared also, I'll accept it. Excited also accept. But then you will say what? They are scared and they were rushing towards the other side. Or they were excited and they were rushing towards the other side. Because you must make use of both of the details the writer gave to you.
I put quickly alight the jeep.
Yeah, okay, that's just paraphrasing, right? Suggest means you have to ask yourself why did they quickly alight the jeep instead of walking down slowly? Because they were either excited
So is that wrong or what?
Oh, that's wrong, yeah. Okay, so you must understand why is it wrong, Because inference question, what does it mean? For you to make use of the details to come up with a conclusion, right? So the first detail they gave you is what? Jumped out, right? So you must ask yourself, that's my formula, correct? You have to ask yourself why they use this word. So why did they just say jumped out instead of just saying they open the jeep and just calmly walk out? What's the difference? One shows that they are excited or they are scared. That's the only reason they will be jumping out of the jeep instead of saying what? They open the door and come out. Correct? So there must be a meaning or reason why they use this exact phrase, and that can be either fear or excitement. Okay, the next clue that you can see over here is scurried across. So when would you scurry across? When you're rushing somewhere. Okay? So you must have these two keywords to get your marks. Okay, now let's look at question number 8. In paragraph 3, the writer describes the camping arrangement. Explain why the writer perceives the camping arrangement as unfair. Use 2 details from the text to support your answer. So this question, next time I mark your ACS bucket paper, all of you do like retarded like that. So you know why not? Because now you follow the formula. So let's talk about the formula again. So whenever you see this sort of question, how do you identify what type of question is it? Whenever you see the exact phrase, use 2 details from the text to support your answer. Right, so whenever you see this exact phrase, right, the only thing will change is whether it's 2 details or 3 details question. Okay, so either way it's the same thing. One set of answers is equal to 1 mark. Alright, so what consists in one set of answers? Can anybody tell me? What's the first thing that you should have?
Code evidence.
Yeah, code evidence, that's the same thing, okay? So when it comes to code evidence, right, how do you know what should I code and what should I not code? Can I just code the whole paragraph?
No, I need to like whether it links like relates.
Relates, right? Correct? So how do we know it relates? We need to always identify the subject or what are we finding for inside the question. Alright, so in the question we're saying unfair, camping arrangements as unfair. So when you find for evidence, right, the evidence should be a reason for the camping arrangements to be unfair or showing that the camping arrangements are unfair. So what's the first part? Your first part is your cause and the second part is your outcome. So if the sentence is either the cause or the outcome of camping arrangements, then can you have it in your answer? You can, right? So it's like saying like show 3 details, or let me just give another simple example. They say use 2 details from the text to support that Kai Sam was horny. Right? So what's the subject here? To show that he's horny, right? Correct? So what can be a cause for his horniness? Watch too much? Gay porn, huh? Okay, so you can say Kai Sam wake up in the morning, 9 a.m. started watching gay porn. And then what's the outcome of that? His cock was fucking hard, right? Correct? So does this, when you see the first part, second part, must you have both parts in your answer? You should, right? Because the first part is your cause of him being gay. Correct? Let me do the cycle, huh? So you're supposed to find, this is subject, this is what the question will ask you. So why did he become gay? Because he watched gay porn, right? Then how do I know he's gay? Because his cock was?
Very hard.
Yes. Okay, so this information on top, you must have it in your answer because it is the cause of your subject. That is why the subject even happens in the first place. The next thing, why you should have this answer is because this is the mechanism to, this is the final outcome. This shows that this guy was gay. If I just say you watch gay porn, does it show he's gay? No, right? If I just say his cock was hard, does it show he was gay? No, right? Must have both your cause and your outcome to support your answer. So this is how you choose whether you need to have something in your answer or no need to have something. Okay, so this concept very clear. So you guys read then you must see. Okay, does this affect this one? Yes or no? If it affects, then you must have it in your answer. Does not affect, not related at all. Right? Then it does not matter. So it's the same thing as watching. So first Kai Sam wake up, then he watch straight porn, then he then bored. Then you go and watch gay porn, then he got hard. So must the straight porn part be even there? No, right? Okay, so that's what you need to know, huh? Okay, so now let's look at this question and just find the 3 details, okay? So what's the first detail you guys get from question 8?
Supervise the setting up.
Wait, huh?
No, I see the tens.
10, something around
Then
the 10.
the 10, like they sell the tens after the safari. But
Yeah.
usually it's like. No, usually it's after, but then now like, I don't know.
Okay, let's look at this together. So let's look at paragraph 3. Lou setting out the camp with the group. Usually repeats tense after the safari, preparing food, setting up sleeping bags, mosquito, supervise the keep pace behind the food. Okay, so you see the first sentence over here, which is line 15, 16, right? So each task, right, she allows us a 5-minute break. If anyone lagged behind and didn't follow instructions correctly, she made us start all over again. I wasn't averse to working hard. So what does the last sentence mean? I wasn't averse to working hard. Was she happy to work hard or not happy to work hard? Not happy to work hard, right? So now does this exact sentence show that she was feeling that the whole arrangement was unfair? Because when you're unfair, what do you feel? Okay, so let's see the same strategy again. So so this is what you're supposed to support, right? So how do I know that she is feeling that this thing is unfair? Because of this phrase which is
What time we done? What time we done?
4:30. Okay, so the same thing. So you remember that's how I showed you about the gay porn thing? Okay, so the middle is gay, right? So what's the reason for him being gay and how I know he's gay? Okay, so what am I supposed to support in this case? Unfair. So how do I know that she felt that this whole thing was unfair? Because of the phrase, I wasn't averse to working hard. Which shows that she is unhappy, right? Which is the outcome of it being unfair. You guys see the logic up? So the same thing. So wait, let me just write down. Wasn't working hard, okay? And then how do I know that she felt it was unfair? What's the action that caused her to be unfair?
No, the park ranger supervised them.
Supervise them, right? Then what? If anybody lagged behind or didn't follow instruction, everybody had to start over again. And then this made her feel this way, right? So this is the link, so you must have the top part and bottom part. The top part is the reason for her feeling unfair, and the bottom part is how I know she felt that this was unfair. So you must have the top and bottom as one piece of evidence. Can it make sense? Okay, about this one is, if anyone lagged, okay, all the way until this part. Okay, so this whole thing is one evidence. Right, so you guys very clear on how to choose your evidence or not? Okay, who not clear about this choosing evidence part? Who doesn't know that? Why I have this part and this part? All of you very clear? Can? So what happens if I do not have this part? It just says what? If anyone lagged behind, we all had to restart, right? Does it show that she was angry with this? Why she just like to just keep cleaning and cleaning and cleaning again and again? Right, correct? So that's why you must have top and bottom. Okay, So the next evidence, what is there? So she made us start all over again. I wasn't looking up. I realized the challenge of keeping pace, but I abhorred being penalized for someone else's negligence. Okay, so this is the same thing. You guys can see the pattern. So right, same thing. I need to find evidence to show that she thought this whole setup was unfair. So what's the reason for her feeling unfair? So what? I ran into the challenge of keeping pace, right? That's the activity that she feels that is unfair. Okay, then how do I know that she finds this activity unfair? Because the next sentence says what?
She
Abhorred being penalized for someone else's negligence, right? So that's how you know she felt it was unfair. Okay, so you can see, right, the pattern must always have top and bottom, your cause and your effect. Okay, so this is how you quote your evidence first. So these are your two pieces of evidence. But then let's say you only have the correct evidence. You have two correct evidences. How many marks are you going to get? None, huh? Because why? The question asks you to do what?
explain.
Explain your answer. So as long as you quote only, you will not get any marks even if you have two correct quotes. So you must go and explain. Okay, so let's look at it. So how can we explain this? What's the formula for explaining stuff? Paraphrase first. Okay, very good. Okay, so you must paraphrase both first, and you just start with this. Suggest. Okay, so this one you guys can paraphrase or not? Or need to help me? Help. Need to help. Okay, so let's look at this evidence together. Okay, let's look at paragraph 3. I wasn't averse to working hard, right? Or you can just say, so this part will be. Wait on. Yeah, so this one you can just change it to.
So cute.
What's going on?
This staring at me.
Staring at his dick.
Oh,
Is that why you don't want to give him back his pens?
this guy is his Gerald, you don't give me pen.
Or they're taking advantage of you already. Taking out your pens, another person get to stare at your cop on. Bro, he's just going to rape you one day when you're sleeping.
So the
already.
example you give is correct.
Yeah, it's correct, yeah. So I just thought of him. Because I saw him already like eyeing you from the side. He side you like fuck like that from just now. Okay, so let's go and paraphrase this together. Huh? So let's look at the first sentence, which is if anyone lagged behind. So if anyone lagged behind, how can we just change it? If anyone didn't keep up. Okay? If someone did not keep up. Keep up. Or did not follow instructions correctly, what can we change it to?
Did not obey orders.
Views.
Obey rules or did what was not instructed, anything along those lines, can I? Was not instructed. Then what will happen to them? Made us all start over again, right? They had to restart showing. Okay. She hated working excessively. Okay, you can see? Wait, this one change, huh? The restart, and since she hated working excessively, she found the arrangement unfair. Okay, so you see, very simple. So the first part is always to paraphrase your evidence. If someone did not keep up or did what was not instructed, they had to restart. And since she hated working excessively, she found the arrangement unfair. Okay, you can see how it makes sense? So your part 1 is paraphrase and your part 2 is the link back to the subject.
I don't think the line was enough to write those.
Doesn't mean you don't write, just say, cannot say there's not enough space and just don't write. Why? Because like this not enough space because I print half side.
Oh.
If I print full side, confirm got enough space. Okay, now? So this is the first part. So the second part also the same thing. So when you want to paraphrase, you can say what? I released a challenge of keeping pace, right? Means what she hated to, or found it very troublesome to go at the same rate as the rest of the group. Okay, but I abhorred being penalized for someone else's negligence. What's the next thing? I abhorred, or I hated, or I dislike being punished for other people's mistakes. So showing that she felt the arrangement was unfair. Okay, can? Simple, huh? Okay, so the next time you guys see your 3 details question type, or whenever there's a details question, right, we need to quote from the passage, always think of Kai-sen's gay logic. Think about why he was gay and how I know he was gay. That's the only way, right, you guys won't miss out the correct information. Okay? The paraphrasing part, I think you guys will be able to do it now. Okay, but then it's just where you lose your marks is choosing the correct set of information. Okay? Okay, let's look at question number 8.
9.
It's 9, is it? Yeah, 9. Identify one word in paragraph 4 which suggests that the ranger is surprised and the writer wants to continue the safari.
Disbelief.
Okay, this one can all be easier. Okay, can? So I'm sure that you guys will need the answer here, right? Okay. Yeah, I can continue doing.
I must do every day.
Yeah, continue doing until we can practice more.
Shit. 6, 7.
Yeah, continue doing.